All right. I'd like to bring the meeting to order and ask that roll be called.
Bergeron,
Here.
Feldman,
Here.
Hall,
Here.
Olshauser, here. Tyra, Wagenbach, yes.
Here. I'd like to ask everyone to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Board will now move on to the public participation portion of the meeting. Dr. Gierman will begin with the superintendent's report. Am I hearing an echo or am I just being amplified?
Echoing.
That.
First, I want to have FOIA requests. There have been 6 FOIA requests since our last meeting. All of those requests have been completed by Mr. McKenzie. I'd like to call Coach Sarksfield up here to introduce the third robotics team. I'll turn it over to him. Hi. So we're Dunlap Eagles robotics team, DIRT. It's just the acronym for Dunlap robotics team. And this year, we have our most successful year. We've been a team for 20 years next year that we've been doing this. So we built a robot with help from corporate sponsors. Caterpillar, TE Connectivity, and State Farm sponsored us. They all assisted us. And we built a robot. It costs, the robot's about $80,000 to build each year. And it's kind of 32 inches by 32 inches. And, it's designed to play a game. And that game this year was a mass ball, where basically they had to pick up a bunch of balls on the field. We play 3-on-3. So you play, you go to a competition. There are typically somewhere between 30 and 60 teams that go to a competition. And you play against, that's each team's a different high school from the area. And you play 2 other high schools play together against 3 other high schools. They go through what they call qualification rounds. That just gives you where you rank, and you're randomly placed with different robots for many, many rounds. And then they can rank how good you are. And then the top 8 robots, they get to pick up their alliance. And they kind of do the best robot gets to pick its first pick first, but it picks its second pick last to make its 3-team alliance. Try to get all the alliances. So at Central Illinois Regional, which is held at Bradley's Coliseum every year during the spring break, we won. So we beat all 31 teams with our alliance, which includes Mars Wars out of Metabora, and a team out of St. Louis, Missouri. Yeah, St. Louis, Missouri. And then we went to Kansas City after that. We made it to the finals in Kansas City, and lost in the finals. And that winning at CR qualified us to go to the Worlds in Houston, Texas. So the 600 best teams in the world, there's about 4,000 teams in the world that play this. It is a world competition where 19 countries at Worlds represented. And so the 600 best teams are there. So we got to go to Worlds and compete. There's 8 fields of 75 teams. And the top 8 alliance captains in each competition get to pick. So you end up with 24 teams in the playoffs, which is why there's 8 fields, because then the 8 best teams on each field play what they call Einstein, and they play each other for the world champion. So you play each field gets their champion, and then there's an overall champion. So we were middle of the pack. There were 75 robots on our field. We ranked 36. We had a 6-4 record at Worlds against the best of the best. Interesting enough, the team that won Kansas City was on our field at Worlds, and they also won that our field. They won our field, we were the top. So, and it was their high school that we went to play against. We had a very successful season. This is Randy Anderson, my assistant coach, and this is the main core of our team.
That's great. Well, thank you, and thank you, Steve, for coming in. For the long-term school. So, thank you very much.
We have a small gift for each of the board members, which so the students designed this and 3D printed it on our 3D printer that we have in our shop. So this was designed by a student.
Thank you.
I just want to point out, this team works so hard. A lot of people don't know what we do and how we do it. And we meet year round. And we meet at least once a week until January comes. That's our kickoff. And these hardworking kids not only kept up their grades, but we met 5 to 6 nights a week from January till April. And it's amazing, their dedication. And I'm super, super proud of all of them. And you guys should be really proud too, because their dedication is amazing. I don't know of any other sport that requires that. And
Do they represent all classes, freshmen through senior?
yes, we have some 8th graders as well.
So
Eighth graders
we
also.
allow 8th graders onto the team if their parent will be in mentor. So the 8th grader has to come with a parent. So that's a qualification. If you're an 8th grader, you can be on the team, but then the parent also has to come with you. Every time you're your parent has to be.
And you may have said this, but do other schools in the conference or around here in the Tri-County area? I mean,
Yeah, so
are there a fair amount of
Limestone has a team, Tremont has a team, Metamora has a team, Washington has 2 teams. They have a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior team, because they have enough kids. They have like 50, 60 kids that want to do every year, so they just split it into 2. Robot Casserole really represents Richwoods and the IDC. Yeah, IDC. So they kind of represent 2 schools. And then there's some teams in Bloomington that we play with a lot. That is a 4-H club. Yeah, it's pretty well represented. And in our area, it is some of the best teams in the world. So the Tremont team has won the whole world. They were ranked 8th this year in the world. Out of 4,000 teams, they were ranked 8th. That's the team we need to.
and is that because the Caterpillar influence, or why do you
Yeah,
think
it's
that?
the Caterpillar sponsorship of the teams is what allows us to happen. And overall, you'll see all the really good teams are very much in an area where there's a big, large company. So California is the dominant. California won the thing. And Michigan has a lot of, is really large, has big teams. And also on the East Coast, there was a lot of industry that have really seven.
Okay, great, fantastic. Yeah,
Thank you.
appreciate it. Thank you.
I don't know what that is. My neighbor.
Next up, I'll turn it over to Mrs. Catlett to represent a couple of her students.
So many of you may have seen on the news on March 12th. Unfortunately, there was a very serious car accident on Allen Road, and we had 2 students from Dunlap High School who stopped to assist during this accident. So kids We're all on our way home that night, and they stopped, unfortunately, like I said, it was a very serious accident, and they assisted an off-duty firefighter, during the accident. So tonight, they are being given the Eagle Talent Award. And the Eagle Talent Award is in recognition of extraordinary courage, selflessness, and presence of mind in a moment when it mattered most. Through your actions, you protected and saved the lives of others, an act that reflects the very best of who you are. Your bravery is not only heroic, but deeply inspiring. It reminds us all of the power of compassion, the strength of character, and the impact one person can make on the lives of many. With profound gratitude and pride, Dunlap's Community School District. So I think, being young ladies, the age they are, what they did, and stopping when, like I said to them, I'm sure many other people passed by, is such a testament to who they are and their bravery, not knowing what you're going to get out of the car too. So congratulations, Adrian and Kenzie. We are proud of you.
Incredible. That's great. Incredible.
Graduation and promotion ceremonies were held down at high school, down at middle school, down at Valley. Congratulations to all the graduates, and thank you to the board members that were able to help with that. It is certainly appreciated and your volunteering behind your back. Vaccinating school is tomorrow, and 1 hour early dismissal. Construction update, Dr. Adrian is still a little under the weather with his surgery, but I'll just give a quick update. Things are progressing. Concrete's been poured out of the training center. They are moving on the roof still, though relatively slowly. They were up there today and made some significant progress. And then we had a Wilder Lake construction meeting today. We're still in the planning stages of that. But if you get on the live cam and give that a look, you can see some of the progress that they have pretty much ready to go and getting some of that infrastructure laid. But still lots to do there. At our next meeting, Mike McKenzie, our CFO, will be providing a quarterly report and year-end summary, as well as budget forecasting for the upcoming budget prep, which is a little different than years past, a little earlier than we've done. The numbers that he will be giving, just giving a little bit of a quick overview, will be his best guesstimate, because we don't get like early tax money, what the exact number is until July. We don't get corporate property replacement tax numbers until July. We don't get evidence-based funding exact numbers until August. So we'll be forecasting those numbers. There'll be predictions. They'll be fairly accurate, but they won't be spot on because we just don't have the information yet. I haven't called her. And that's all I have at this point, Mr. Bowman. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. At this time, we'll move on to public comments. Is there anyone who wishes to address the board? If so, please raise your hand. Okay, this concludes public participation portion of the meeting. The board will now move on to the information discussion items. School activity account reports are included in the board packet. Are there any questions? Next, Dr. Andrews will present information regarding the Boundary Advisory Committee and process.
Can I interject something?
Of course, sir. Sure.
Dr. Andrews, could we maybe have you wait 1 second and have Mr. Holmes go, because he's got senior night out at the ball field and has to take care of those students. So if we can get him out here a little quicker, sure, that'd be appreciated. So if we could move to Mr. Holmes.
Yep. So we're going to jump to Roman numeral 4 action items. And this would be, as it pertains to the approval of the OSF athletic training agreement. Information regarding the OSF athletic training agreement is included in the board packet. I have a motion to approve the agreement.
we move forward with that, Mr. Holmes, can you provide just a quick summary? Because I believe it was at the last meeting, someone questioned whether Carl Health was interested or approached about a bid, and Mr. Holmes followed up on that. So if you could share that with the board.
Well,
Midwest.
Or
okay.
Midwest, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
so we had that, and there was a question by another board member today, and you got a little more detail on that too. So why don't you just cover both while you're here?
Yeah, I received an email from Midwest a day or two after the board meeting last month, once I went for information. Want to know if they could provide a proposal for the contract. I said, absolutely. Provide what we were looking for, what our timeline was. I had no response back from them. After I responded to, yes, provide a proposal, we're willing to take it, look at it, and see where it goes with the board. They did not respond back. In regards to the question of the amount, 53,000 is where the 2 FTE is right now from OSF, with 44 being the 1.5 for a difference of about $11,000. Now, in our first contract 3 years ago, the one expires here in about 2 weeks, actually 1 month, I guess, 6 weeks. This year, the last of that contract was 29,000, 29,400, something like that. So that was for 1 FTE originally. In year 2 and 3, OSF did provide a 0.5 at no additional cost. So year 2 and 3, we had 1.5 FTE athletic trainers paying the amount that we agreed to for 1 FTE. So for the last 2 years, we've operated at 1.5, paying for 1. OSF contracts up. They're now charging for that 0.5 or that 1 FTE, whichever we go with. So that's the difference in $11,000 of 54,000, 53,000, and then 44 for the 1.5.
It didn't go up $11,000. It went up $27,000 off. That's what I want the point to be, because you said the difference is 11,570.
The 11 pertains to the 1.5 that they're proposing on the contract, and then the 2, which is 54. That's $11,000 difference that we're talking about.
Yeah,
between the 1.5 and the 2.
The difference in the cost for the district is $27,000.
That's right.
Yes.
Yes.
That should have been on there. Looks like it's not deceiving here, but.
Yeah, it's because
Right.
the level of service, and I was confused as Tim was on this, because we were in a way both correct. But he was looking at it, I was looking at it with same service in terms of the FTE complement and dollars associated with that change from the 1.5 to the 2. And Tim was looking at it just on the dollars.
Correct.
Without the FTEs behind it to do the 2. So he was correct in the cost to the district being the 20-something thousand variance versus the 11.5 that we were talking about, going from the 1.5 to the 2.
Sure.
Clarification. I thought it ought to be mentioned.
Yeah, no, I think it's a solid one, and thought we were both right differently. Okay. Other questions for Mr. Holmes? Okay, then I would ask if there's a motion to approve the agreement.
To be clear, Tom, you're asking for a motion relative to the 2 FTEs, correct?
That's correct.
I'll move to approve the agreement.
Might want to clarify that too.
For the 2 FTEs.
Well, that's one that's, why are you clarifying that? Is there a box to check for less than 2?
There was a discussion of what's that 11,000 he was talking about between
Oh, yeah.
1.5 or the 2.
Yeah, but it's the agreement that's in the thing,
Correct.
which does say 2.
Correct.
Right, yeah.
Yes.
Correct.
All right, if anyone ventures to second that motion.
No second.
Okay, thank you, Nick. Any other discussion? Roll call vote.
Bergeron. Feldman.
Aye.
Hall.
Aye.
Holzhauser. Aye. Wagenbach.
No.
Yeah.
Aye. Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Holmes. You're excused. And now Dr. Andrews will present information regarding the Boundary Advisory Committee and process.
There we go. All right. So very quickly, I just want to make sure that I can get across the purpose of the boundary committee, the goal and its guiding principles that will govern the work that we do together. Make sure you understand the timeline, discuss how we will engage the community and also communicate updates regularly, and then share tentative specifics about what that final recommendation will be from the administrative team. So of course, we know that we are coming up for the 27-28 school year with the rebuild of Wilder Weight, and with that, in order to achieve the goal of decreasing enrollment and addressing the current enrollment numbers at Hickory Grove, as well as allowing for future potential growth there within the banner boundaries, not only populating the larger building, but then allowing future growth to occur there. So just to provide like a flying altitude view of how this process has been going and will continue to go, looking at this in 5 phases. The first phase is just performing a data study, which is actually something we do each year. Every summer, I work with our enrollment analytics company and go through a protocol to make sure they're aware of multiple factors that can affect a school district's enrollment. But it's taking a further look at that along with the data that I provide each year at February and March during our staffing proposals. And there are some similarities, some incongruencies, and trying to use that to then just kind of, during the proposal ideation, come up with some potential ideas about how we could achieve our goals. The second phase, which finishing that up now, is bringing that information to the administrative team to get feedback and make revisions based off of those presented proposals. There were 3 ultimately that I brought to the team with help with Mrs. Ellis to get some feedback about how we can make those proposals stronger before then phase 3, which would be a week from tonight, with the boundary advisory team presenting those to those members of the committee and seeking feedback and revision throughout that process. You'll also see, and we'll talk very briefly about how community feedback and revision will look, and then also ultimately to then lead us ultimately to phase 5, which is the recommendation to the administrative team. To help organize and make sure that the goal, purpose, and guiding principles of the committee and any proposal that comes from it are understood, created a document that had been shared to the committee members that were asked to be part of that. The committee, for parent stakeholders, we had reached out to members of parent-teacher organizations, individuals who were established and involved in the community that would be able to, that we had been working with all, obviously the school year, members of the school buildings instructional leadership team, so teacher leaders were invited, members of the Dunlap Education Association's leadership team, as well as the Dunlap Support Personnel Association's leadership team were invited to be part of that as well. But this document will help govern our work and what we're doing. Obviously starting with our goals, so we have a common target to aim for and making sure that that's understood, that we need to make sure that we're developing a comprehensive recommendation to the Board of Education that will balance enrollment at our elementary schools in respect to their capacities, but also in middle schools while allowing for future growth. So in terms of our shared purpose, making sure that the role of the committee is very clear from the outset, is why it was included within that invitation to participate, that those members of the committee, being comprised of Dunlap administrators, staff members, board members, parents, the advisory committee will help the district administration achieve its goal to present that ultimate recommendation by sharing Any additional considerations that perhaps obviously had been shared when seeking feedback from the whole administrative team, that then could obviously be refined, and then providing feedback to the proposed boundary option, giving feedback about considerations about any constraints in the district that all then would be used to refine those updated boundary options. So the ultimate proposal will consider, in no ranking order, they're all of equal importance, the enrollment data and future growth projections, feedback from the committee members and community stakeholders, streamlined bus routes that consider the proximity to assigned routes and route times, and the impact on federal funding status, specifically Title I funding, as we're talking about obviously taking students and moving them between school buildings. That can potentially affect our ability to have school-wide funding at our current 3 Title I school-wide elementary buildings, that being Dunlap Grade, Ridgeview, and Wilder Wade. So being mindful of that, and if that's something that we realize to be the best recommendation, understanding what that impact could look like. It doesn't necessarily mean they wouldn't qualify for title funds if we're not taking a look at that in that consideration. It just may not mean that it can be used school-wide to support the curriculum programming. They have another level, which below that, that's called targeted support. So it just limits how the funds can be spent as opposed to how they can be now. And also being mindful about the reassignment of staff members and the impact that that will have within the process as well. So when we're making decisions, we're looking at data that has to be accurate information because it's going to impact where people are working. There's no way around that when we're decreasing enrollment at one building and increasing it at another. So timeline-wise, it says still draft, but really the dates are on there and pretty firm at this time, anything large aside. But looking to, like I had said already, a week from tonight, have our first boundary advisory committee meeting with the tentative agenda outlined there, but essentially presenting the proposals, asking for feedback, performing a SWOT analysis of that. Based on that, our second boundary advisory committee meeting in June, then taking a look at updated proposals based on the feedback we collected from May 27th. And then forming groups for our open house gallery walks that will occur on July 29th and August 6th at Banner and Hickory Grove respectively. And during that, it would be essentially kind of like we had for the Wilder Wade open house when we were looking at the draft plans of that, having established stations for however many proposals we whittle ourselves down to, information presented so the public can come view, ask questions of the committee members who had worked on that. We would make sure it's evenly balanced, of course, so that each group had representation that was aware of the process all along and had good historical knowledge of the district. And then, just like we had at the Wilder Wade draft plans meeting, the ability to quite literally write feedback on the documents themselves and any suggestions that the public may have. Knowing also it's summer though, and having some time, allowing there to be an open feedback survey that for those who can attend the open houses and have those questions answered directly in real time, the opportunity for feedback to see what those proposals would look like, ask any questions, which would then, in the sake of just manpower, likely just be added to an FAQ document as opposed to a direct answer right to them. And then all of that feedback would then be taken, collected, and disaggregated to what would ultimately be delivered back to the Boundary Advisory Committee with any potential adjustments from those all that information on September 15th. Then one final look over of that and discussion about what the direction and recommendation would be to ultimately present to the Board of Education in October for action in November. So ideally that's the timeline we're looking at there. For a couple of reasons looking to that. One, so that when we're setting up Power School enrollment, when people are looking to enroll, we get everything locked down at the end of the calendar year to then start enrollment for kindergarten in February, right at the beginning of the month. So we have to have that locked down. Also, so that internally we can have conversations about what that will mean for staffing considerations then for the 27-28 school year. Want to obviously have that process down and make sure that we're able to communicate those that plan to staff members as well. Of course, which is why the approach is being taken for this process, very cognizant of the impact that this will have on the community. Had lots of questions for some time, even before we even had shovels in the ground over at Wilder Way, what this would mean for individuals in the community. People suspecting that they might have some impact from this or be impacted by this process. So in an effort, we will to be as transparent as possible, obviously starting out tonight with this presentation for a matter of public record, following up with an email to the district explaining what the process will look like, and the established web page off of our district website that includes the things you see there, the meeting dates, times, agendas, committee members, and minutes from those meetings. Eventually, once that public survey goes out, it would be housed there. An email would be sent once that opens for everyone in August to get that who couldn't attend our open house nights in the summer. That information will be posted there as well. And again, like I'd already said, a frequently asked questions section relative to any questions that are posed through that engagement piece. So that's our plan to make sure that we are being transparent and communicating there. Recommendation in October, it is our intention to present a recommendation that would make sure that, of course, it has updated boundary maps, so it's very clear what the proposal would be for elementary and middle schools. The estimated enrollment for school year 28, broken down by building. The updated number of staff needed at each building, if there is any applicable impact to federal funding that we would see, as well as any additional staffing needs at that time would be included as well. So that's what that is looking to be. What questions might you guys have for me?
Did you get a lot of support?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. I had 2 board members volunteer for that, but parent representation as well, staff members, and of course administration as well.
Who are the board that volunteered?
Teresa and Nick.
I just wonder, given the sensitive nature of this project, if we could maybe get committee members or Dr. Andrews to kind of report out periodically as this process plays out, just to kind of keep us posted of how it's going. I don't know if I missed that or if that was mentioned in there.
Yeah, we'll be posting minutes to the website, but we could absolutely provide an update at board meetings. That would be a non-issue, very easily done.
Other questions?
How many total members are on the committee?
I don't know off the top. I've been looking at many numbers today. That's not one of them. I'd say 30.
Yeah.
The last time I looked.
Me.
Trying to make it where we have representation, but it's not so big that it detracts from productivity during that time.
Yeah, I mean, this, yeah, and we'll make sure that we let us know how it's going next month. You're here every month, so we can, with Nick and Teresa, part of it. You know, I've shared my thoughts with you on this. The Title I funding, that was interesting, and I mean, that's something I hadn't thought about, and I think that for sure needs to be put in there. Otherwise, you know, I think people have to, just have to be sensible about this. And it's going to be hard because the 30 people are, you know, they're thinking about their kids today. The majority are, and about where they are. And, you know, we really have to do something that is logical, rational, that we can speak to, not for today and for these kids and these parents, but for the future. We got to avoid costs of, you know, gerrymandered bus routes and other things because we're trying to keep everyone happy, because this is not a happy project.
No.
So, yeah. All right. Good luck. Thank you. I stayed far away from that committee when they said, we need board members. Yeah, you can forget it. No way. All right. Anyone else for Dr. Andrews? Okay. Thank you. A lot of good work there. Great. Okay, this concludes the information discussion item segment of the meeting. The board will now move on to the consent agenda. Are there any questions or discussions regarding items on the consent agenda? Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda? Okay, thank you. Youssef, is there a second?
No second.
Okay, thank you, Nick. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Huron. Feldman.
Aye.
Hall.
Aye.
Olcauser.
No.
Wagenbach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry. Aye.
Okay, motion carries. The board will now move on to the action items. The bill list, treasurer's report, district investment report, and bank statements are included in the board packet. Could I have a motion to approve payment of the bills?
I'll move to approve the payment of the bills in the amount of $6,500,369.51 as presented.
Thank you, Mick. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Teresa, thank you. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Feldman.
Aye.
Hall.
Aye.
Olcauser. Wagenbach.
Aye.
Yam.
Aye.
Huron.
Okay, motion carried. Information regarding the consolidated district plan is included in the board packet. Could I have a motion to approve the consolidated district plan?
Move to approve the consolidated district plan as presented.
All right, thank you, Tim. Is there a second? Okay, thank you, Youssef. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Hall.
Aye.
Olcauser. Wagenbach.
Aye.
Yam.
Aye.
Huron. Feldman.
Aye. Motion carries. Information regarding board policy 6236, student and educator AI use is included in the board packet. Could I have a motion to approve the policy? Thank you, Youssef. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Tim. Thank you. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Olcauser. Wagenbach.
Aye.
Yam.
Aye.
Huron.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Information regarding the administrator contracts has been included in the board packet. Could I have a motion to approve the contracts?
I'll move to approve the contracts as presented.
Thank you, Nick. Is there a second?
Second.
Mick, any discussion? Okay, roll call vote.
Olcauser. Wagenbach.
Aye.
Yam.
Aye.
Huron. Feldman.
Aye.
Hall.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. This concludes the action items portion of the meeting. Is there a motion to adjourn to closed session? I don't have anything. No one got to me ahead of time. Does anyone have anything on this list they'd like to talk about in closed session? Okay. Back in, we never went to close, so we're back in open. Could I have a motion to approve the human resources consent agenda? Teresa, is there a second?
Second. You say that?
Tim? Is there any discussion? Okay, roll call vote.
Wagenbach.
Aye.
Yam.
Aye.
Huron. Feldman.
Aye.
Hall.
Aye.
Olcauser. Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll move to adjourn.
Okay, Mick, thank you. Is there a second? Second, Youssef, thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the time is 6:40.